The 2026 Formula One season has not even started yet, but the paddock is already full of drama and mind games. While Mercedes has been trying to put the attention on Red Bull, another team has been quietly going about its business, happy to stay out of the spotlight. That team is Ferrari. But behind the scenes, the Italian team is at the center of the biggest fight in the sport right now, the fight over Mercedes' secret engine trick. Ferrari says they don't want to protest, they just want clarity. But what does that really mean? And what is their plan to make sure the rules are fair for everyone? Let's dive into the story of Ferrari's calm and clever approach to the engine war. While teams like Red Bull and Mercedes have been fighting a war of words in the media, Ferrari has taken a very different approach. Their team boss, Vasseur, has made it clear that he is not interested in protesting Mercedes. He told the media, "We are not there to make a protest. We are there to have a clear regulation and to have everybody with the same understanding." This is a very smart move from Vasseur. By saying he doesn't want to protest, he makes Ferrari look like the reasonable and sensible team. He is not trying to start a fight, he is just asking for fairness. This puts the pressure on the FIA, the people who make the rules, to sort out the mess. Vasseur knows that with so many new rules for 2026, there are always going to be gray areas where teams have different ideas about what is allowed. He said, "The most important for me is to get clarity. Everybody can accept that we made mistakes, or we didn't have the same understanding before. But what we need is to have it clear-cut that it's now like this." This is a very calm and professional way of dealing with the situation, and it is very different from the angry words we have heard from other teams. But don't think that Ferrari is being soft. Behind their calm words, they are working very hard to make sure that Mercedes does not get an unfair advantage. According to a report from the Swiss newspaper Blick, Ferrari, along with Honda and Audi, are furious with Mercedes about the engine trick. The report says that Ferrari believes the FIA will ban the Mercedes trick before the first race in Australia. This is a very big claim, and it shows that Ferrari is very confident that the rules are on their side. If the FIA does ban the trick, it would be a huge problem for Mercedes and their customer teams, McLaren, Alpine, and Williams. They would have to change their engines very quickly, which would be almost impossible to do before the first race. This shows that while Ferrari is being calm in public, they are playing a very tough game behind the scenes. They are using their power and influence to put pressure on the FIA to make a decision that will help them and hurt their biggest rival. One of the reasons Ferrari is so confident is that they have done their homework. They have studied the new rules very carefully, and they believe that Mercedes has found a loophole that was never intended to be there. The new rules for 2026 are very complex, especially the rules for the new engines. The engines will have a 50-50 split between electric power and petrol power, which is a big change from the old engines. This means that energy management is more important than ever. The teams that can find the cleverest ways to save and use their electrical energy will have a big advantage. Mercedes seems to have found a way to get more power from their petrol engine by using a higher compression ratio. This is a very technical detail, but it is at the heart of the whole argument. Ferrari believes that the way Mercedes is measuring their compression ratio is not in the spirit of the rules, and they are pushing the FIA to close this loophole. This is a classic F1 battle, fought not on the track, but in the rulebook, and Ferrari is determined to win it. While Ferrari is fighting this battle off the track, they are also very happy with how things are going on the track. The team had a very good preseason test in Bahrain. Their new car, the SF26, was very reliable, and they were able to complete a huge number of laps. Charles Leclerc did 219 laps over the 3 days, more than any other driver. This is a big change from last year, when the team had a lot of problems during testing. Leclerc said, "A positive start in the sense that we didn't have any problems in themselves." He knows that with so many new parts on the car, reliability is the most important thing. He also said that the team is much better organized this year. Last year, the tests were much more difficult, much less structured. This year, instead, it's very good. This is a good sign for Ferrari, as it shows that the team is working well together under the leadership of Vasseur. But what about the speed of the car? Vasseur is very keen to play down Ferrari's chances. He said, "The very positive thing is that no one is talking about us. I like this situation." He knows that in F1, it is always better to be the hunter than the hunted. He wants to keep the pressure off his team and let Mercedes and Red Bull have the spotlight. He said, "No one knows yet. No one knows how strong Mercedes is. No one knows if you weigh 20 kilos, 40 kilos, or 60 kilos. And that's much more than the difference between the cars. That's why the best way to be is to keep quiet and focus on yourself." This is a classic sandbagging tactic, trying to hide your true speed to surprise your rivals at the first race. And it seems to be working. While everyone is talking about Mercedes and Red Bull, Ferrari is quietly getting on with their work. confident that they have a good car. Charles Leclerc agrees with his boss that it is impossible to know the true order of the teams yet. He said, "On the performance side, it's impossible to know." He explained that with the new cars, there are many more ways for teams to hide their true speed. He said, "If before there were 2 or 3 things we could play with to hide the performance, now there are 15. This makes it very hard for the teams to know where they stand compared to their rivals." But Leclerc did give one very interesting clue. He said, "I think Mercedes is hiding a massive amount." This is a very strong statement from one of the best drivers on the grid. It shows that he does not believe Mercedes' claims that they are struggling. He thinks they are just playing mind games, and that they will be much faster when the season starts. This adds another layer of mystery to the start of the new season, and it makes the first race in Melbourne even more exciting. So, what is Ferrari's plan? In public, they are being calm and reasonable, asking for clarity and fairness, but behind the scenes, they are pushing the FIA hard to ban Mercedes' engine trick. They are also quietly confident in their own car, which has been fast and reliable in testing. They are happy to let Mercedes and Red Bull fight it out in the media, while they focus on their own work. The engine war is just beginning, and Ferrari is ready for the fight. This approach is classic Ferrari. On the one hand, they present themselves as the team that cares about fairness and clear rules. On the other hand, they are tough politicians, willing to do whatever it takes to win. The fact that they are so confident that the FIA will rule in their favor suggests that they have been working on this for a long time. They have likely been in close contact with the FIA, presenting their arguments to convince them that the Mercedes trick is not allowed. This is a high-stakes game, and Ferrari is betting that they have the winning hand. The timing of this whole controversy is also very interesting. The teams are set to meet with the FIA next week to discuss the new rules. This meeting will be very important, as it will be the last chance for the teams to make changes before the season starts. Ferrari knows that this is their best chance to get the Mercedes trick banned. If they can convince the other teams to vote with them, they can force the FIA to make a change. This is why they are being so vocal about their desire for clarity. They are not just talking to the media, they are sending a message to the other teams, saying, "We are all in this together. Let's make sure that one team does not have an unfair advantage." It is a clever way of building a group against Mercedes, and it could be very effective. Of course, Mercedes is not going to accept this quietly. Toto Wolff has already told his rivals to get your suck together. He is a tough competitor, and he will not give up his advantage without a fight. He will say that his team has simply done a better job of reading the rules, and that it is up to the other teams to catch up. This is the classic F1 question. Is it a clever idea, or is it cheating? The line between the two is often very thin, and it is up to the FIA to make the final call. The next few weeks are going to be very interesting, as this battle plays out in the meeting rooms and in the media. The outcome of this fight could have a huge impact on the 2026 season, and it could decide who comes out on top in this new era of Formula One.